Welcome to our Pontos Wellbeing blog. Today we have a guest who has long experience in HR management. He had a long career in Nokia. Nowadays he is the chairman of Hintsa Performance and doing research of organizational well-being in Aalto University. Welcome, Juha Agräs.
Thank you.
How do you define organizational well-being and how do you measure it?
I split it to two different components. One is organizational well-being, the other one is individual. On the individual side, we talk about physical well-being, psychological well-being and social well-being. On organization side, we focus then mostly on organization culture, climate, what is the purpose of the organization, leadership, ways of working, type of things. The common way of measuring these kind of subjective questionnaires, employee surveys, organization surveys, but we are now looking more for objective measurements as well. Like from your wearable, for instance, you will find out that what is your VO2 max, you will find out what is your stress level, do you really recover during the night, and those are really good objective measurements to actually measure your kind of proxies for your psychological and physical well-being.
How has the increased awareness and understanding of organizational well-being influenced the leadership?
On leadership style, I see that it's because people are talking more about self-organizing, this autonomy, these kind of things. So it's more like coaching type of leadership. Servant leadership has come back clearly, authentic leadership. These kind of leadership styles are more and more seen.
You have seen a lot of client cases and what kind of results have you observed? Is there an example that you could share with us?
Yeah, most companies first of all want to see some results. So what is the return on investment in these kind of programs? And when we look now what the studies and the cases, we can see that return on investment is something like 3 to 1, so 1 to 3. So that when you invest €1, you will get €3 back. There are big examples like Johnson & Johnson is a huge company, has invested a lot in these kind of programs, and they claim that they get hundreds of millions of return in those programs. It's really, where does that get? So directly it gets from the absence rate, so people are less away from the work, kind of sick days are lower. Also in Finland especially the pension insurance cost is a good example, so if you have a lot of disability pensions then the cost goes up and people want to avoid it. Some companies have specific programs to get that down. Then less easy to measure our productivity measurements, but we believe and we see from studies that well-being actually clearly correlates with higher productivity. One example, O.C. Tanner Institute a couple of years ago found out that those who have good well-being compared to poor well-being, they are 19% more productive. Then there's also kind of a new area which is more like related to the brand. What is your employer brand and employee value proposition? And it's very important when the war of talent is clearly in some industries especially really high, and you need to attract the right and best people, and you need to retain your best people, and these kind of programs actually do have an impact in that one as well.
How do you see the connection between the core, what you define in the Hintsa model, and with the organizational purpose?
That's a really good question, because there's clearly a correlation or linkage, and especially for the younger generation, so that if they can't see that their own values, what they believe in, are seen in the company purpose and values, they actually many decide not to join or leave the company. It is very visible, for instance, in sustainability. So for the younger generation, millennials, the kind of sustainability is a very important issue, and if they don't see that company really values it, then they have an internal struggle, conflict.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.